Hey, and welcome, baby. Okay, when your girl says that life is lifing, it is just that. Now, I typically record on my phone, but your girl has been having some technical difficulties, so I am here to make a way, okay? We are here for my 2 cents, as you could tell by the lovely thumbnail that I may or may not be changing. And I'm gonna give you my apologies now because if you've been to my lives, I know this is not live, but my kids may or may not pop in. So just be prepared. But anyway, I wanted to try something new this year. And this is kind of a spin-off of my watch list. So now it's not the long monthly watch list that you guys typically get. You will still be getting that. And it's not the OG watch list where I'm giving you my 3 picks of things I'm watching now or I've watched before with some recommendations. This ain't that. These are things that I'm kind of watching in real time, and you might get a breakdown or you might get a rant or whatever your girl is feeling, but for sure you are going to get some spoilers. So just be aware. We are here to talk about Natalia Speaks, baby. Let me bring this on up here. On my hits and misses of 2023, we talked briefly about the curious case of Natalia Grace. Now, I didn't really want to get too much into it because we were just giving, my picks on what I like and what I really didn't like so much. So let me just break this series down really, really quickly in case you guys haven't seen it. So Natalia Grace is was an orphan from the Ukraine. She was adopted by Michael and Christina. And Christina had cooked up a little scheme and told us that this girl was not really a little girl, but she was actually an adult. Now she does have dwarfism, so that's what may have made it believable for some folks. Um, but yeah, this was around the time that the movie Orphan came out, in which the girl really wasn't a girl. She was an adult woman. So this is the story that was pushed upon us. And when I saw that, I was really excited to see it. Your girl loves a documentary. And so I was like, oh, this is gonna be the story of like the real life case. Yeah, and these people went to court behind this whole situation because Christina played it. Well, we're going to say Christina and Michael because we are about accountability over here. Christina and Michael both had Natalia Grace re-aged at age 8 or 9. Now, I believe she was 6 or 7 when she arrived into their care. And this is when we started cooking up the story of the girl standing at the end of the bed and hurting the kids and just the whole shebang. They ended up getting her in a mental facility, getting her re-aged from 8 or 9 to age 22, and then putting her out on her own in a place that was not prepared to handle her disability, if you will. Crazy, crazy story. Okay. We never did hear from Christine. We only heard from Michael, and Michael is very much with the theatrics. He has not met a camera that he did not like. So he was just demonstrating things in the video, just very, you hate to see it. So they had 3 boys, I believe, and one of the boys was a genius. Now, Christine took credit for it and wrote a whole book and said that, she got the gift and you too can make your kids a genius. So that was basically the reason. It's believed to be the reason why Christine wanted to adopt Natalia. Now, Natalia has come from an orphanage. She's been with a family before. So she did come with her own set of circumstances and issues, in my belief. And instead of just simply giving this girl back, it would be bad for Christine's rep. So we went with we tried the mental route. That worked, but didn't work. Then we just went to the courts and got the girl re-aged. And like I said, put her out. So that was basically a quick breakdown rant, if you want to call it that, of the curious case of Natalia Grace. So After I did my hits and misses of 2023, I mean, shortly after, Max dropped Natalia Speaks. And this was supposed to be the story from Natalia's perspective. And what does your girl have to say? It's a scheme that Todd had set up to come to us with the BS. I'm going to sip some wine on that, baby. So, her purpose of being there was to prove that these people had lied on her. So, she gets tested. And we find out she believes her actual age is 20. We find out that her actual age is 22. So that's not too far off from what she is now, which means that these people did, in fact, put her out when she was 8 or 9 years old. Now, there were some neighbors that they talked to, and Christine bullied them and blah, 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 blah. But some of the people, because Natalia lived at multiple residences alone, I believe it was only two, um, one of the ladies still says, no, her speech was far too mature, and some of, her ways were that of an adult. Now, baby, I don't really know. Even the folks at the mental facilities was saying, she was talking about things that grown men and women do. But what is believed is that she was coached or she was told these things because she was told to say she was an adult, even though she wasn't actually an adult. There was something that I was missing at the end of the first one, and my brain will not let me remember. If I remember it, I will remind you guys. But like I said, instead of giving the girl back, we went on this whole elaborate scheme. And I will say that that's what I was going to bring up. At the end of so it's rewind. At the end of the curious case of Natalia Grace, at the second place where Natalia was staying, which was in the hood, baby, okay, she stumbled onto the Mann family, and the Mann family kind of took her in as their own. They had like 9 kids. I believe these were adoptive kids. Um, Multiracial family. The father was like a priest or a bishop or whatever. So just so you see where we're going with this. So I had my feelings about them after watching the first series, but I was like, I'm gonna leave it alone because, I don't know if this is because this is the narrative that we're being fed to kind of be suspicious of these people. So now when we fast forward to this, she's still living with them all these years later and their kids. Um, Growing up, they're allowing her to be a child, but what they're also doing is paying for multiple surgeries. Like I said, the girl has dwarfism. She needed surgery. She needed special shoes, the whole nine. So that's where we were with it. But they speak very highly of her. The father even showed up when she wanted to confront Michael, which was a total issue, baby. Okay. Like I said before, he has not met a camera that he doesn't like. So he is very, very much with the theatrics. Um, and it really made me angry. Like, this is like mini rant time. It really made me angry because this man took no accountability. The first time he walked out because she wasn't briefed on what things that she could ask and couldn't ask. And her main thing that she wanted to know is about the reaging. Well, baby, he couldn't talk about the reaging through a whole ass adult tantrum. And they did have another meeting without his lawyer or her guardian, right? So the second meeting, again, he still takes no accountability. He was a victim. They both had the same monster, and it pissed me off because you're a grown ass man. You could have left at any time. I think she even asked, like, why didn't you take us as the kids and leave? Well, most men don't take the kids and leave, as he didn't, but he could have walked out on his own, and he chose not to do that. So don't cry for me, Argentina. I do not feel bad for Michael. Michael, was he a victim of his own stuff? Maybe. But as far as this, like, I don't even want to call him a victim with that. Like I said, he could have got up and walked out at any time. So he really did piss me off. He kind of sort of apologized towards the end and she prayed for him, but not really. And I don't know if she had any tricks up her sleeve because there is a possibility that even though they beat the court case, because they could only look at her at being re-aged. So it's basically whether it was like child abandonment. They beat the case solely on that. They couldn't look at the reaging. They couldn't, they couldn't do any of that. So they beat the case. Christine is over somewhere in Canada with her kids. She made it seem as if Michael had been aggressive with her and got a restraining order and a whole nine. Again, I don't feel sorry for this man. These are your situations and circumstances, and you were free to walk or do whatever you needed to do at the time. This little girl, not so much. So I feel she was slighted and she was definitely owed an apology. So the Mann family goes on to adopt this girl at 20 years old. And even the judge is questioning, like, why were we adopting this girl as an adult? Because she's still an adult at this point. This is years later. So I know she kind of wanted to get rid of I can't even remember Michael and Christina's last name. I really don't care. She wanted to get rid of their last name, but I believe it's also because she intends to file a civil suit. So now, what I believe it was, you know what? Let me take it to the end, because it might be a mini rant. Let me take it to the end because we're running a little longer than your girl wanted to run. I thought about maybe 5-10 minutes. We could really get into this whole thing. I will say that nobody was innocent in this. You know what? Before I even get there, let's back it up. Back the train up. So we get to the end of the series. Like I said, she gets adopted and it looks like all's well that ends well. She found her happy family. They spoke very highly of her. And you might have turned the last episode off a little too early when scared. Not too much. We see Natalia in, like, it's like a goth kind of setup. And we hear a phone call to the producers, like right before this whole thing was supposed to air. And we hear the dad, I believe his name was Bishop Antoine. You can get down in the comments and correct me if I'm wrong. Said that this girl is tweaking and that she's done things before, but this takes the cake. And that's what I was saying. Y'all was kind of covering for her and making it seem like it was what it wasn't. But we're gonna proceed. And that basically they're wiping their hands of her. She's making it seem like, they took her against her will and, all of these things. So, my opinion, we're going to get to that first and then we're going to get into a little bit more. It's a money grab. It's a money grab, and we're going to get a season 3. Neither of them, neither Natalia nor the Manns, can really talk about it. So we're going to get a season 3. It's a money grab. That's what we're here for. And am I going to watch it? Yes, I'm going to watch it. Am I going to do a rant in it? Probably not. But I will be there to watch to see how they spin this, because Natalia, like I said, she comes with her own set of issues and circumstances. I believe she has some abuse before she got to Christine and Michael. She needs extensive therapy. The Mann family, y'all weren't, it wasn't all altruistic. Y'all wanted some money. You paid for surgeries. She could possibly have a civil lawsuit if she moves out, which it sounds like that's what she wanted to do. Your money train is over, because you get money from the state also. Especially she's disabled. It's like, it's crazy because you hate to see it. There was an incident, which I can't remember because I'm recording this for the second time, if I brought it up or not, with one of the Mann's kids. They have like 9 kids. And the girl said that Natalia hurt her. The girl went to the hospital. Well, when we get on camera, Mrs. Mann, I can't remember her name, says it's a lie that Christine had called the hospital, because they said they got a call at the hospital and said, do not bring Natalia's ass back over here. And I believe that how Christine gonna call all the way in Canada, lady? That don't make no sense. So hopefully you guys have seen this. Please get down in the comments and let me know what you thought about it. Child, yeah, that's it. That's all. Because, like I said, this is supposed to be short but sweet. So, give me your thoughts on this series. Give me your thoughts on. Give me your thoughts on this new segment, and I will try to fine tune this whole thing going forward. Just so it flows a little more nicely. Like I said, it's going to be either a breakdown or a rant, if you will. So, now it is what it is, but leave a comment, like, share. I mean, you could drop an emoji, let me know you stopped by, let me know what you guys think. I totally, your girl, I appreciate all tremendously, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.